Hello and welcome to the Domino Effect, you guys. It is Friday. Oh my God, it's Friday. It's Friday the 15th. And let me talk in my little microphone. Can you hear me? So it is Friday the 15th, and you guys are here. You're in the right place. Happy Friday, you guys. I hope everyone's getting up and getting ready for the holidays. So I just want to take a quick moment to touch on a question that I get. Can you use your Venmo statements to get business financing, right? So who would use Venmo statements? So this could be for gig workers. So also if you have e-commerce, if you are working in a hair salon, things like that. Why am I bringing this up? Well, things are changing. Digital age is changing. Sorry if I keep looking up. I'm monitoring something right now. So why are we talking about Venmo statements? Well, a lot of people are utilizing different methods of accepting payments now. We know we're not just using cash anymore, obviously. Not just using credit cards anymore. Obviously, we have things like Apple Pay, PayPal, and we can accept Venmo, Stripe, all kinds of ways. My experience, and I'm just talking about my experience, you guys, okay? Disclaimer, I am not a financial guru. I am talking about my experience and what I see in when applications are coming across on our desk. If you are using just your Venmo statements and you don't have a business bank account, now some people think that just taking in the statements should be sufficient enough. And that might work. Now, let's think about this from a business perspective, right? You guys, okay? We're thinking like business owners, okay? So you need to be showing that you're operating as a functioning business, which means that you need to be depositing that money into your account. So you need to be depositing whatever money that you get into your business bank account. Whatever that old saying, cash is king, let it go. Okay. Cash is not king. You get the cash, you put it in your bank account. And then from there, if you want to pay yourself, you do that. If you pay bills, you do. When you pay bills, you do that. Now, with your Venmo statements, if you are if you are transferring that money over into your business bank account, that's great. You already are in a good position. So you're showing that the business is bringing in money. Now you can take those statements into a bank and you can ask for financing if your revenue meets the requirements. Now, on the flip side of that, let's say you are accepting cash, right? I'll give you an example. I was working with a tax company. I'll give you another example, working with a beautician who owned a hair salon. And so she was getting cash payments and paying her rent first and then depositing into her bank account. Same thing with the excuse me. Same thing with the woman who owned the tax company. She actually owned 2 franchises and was getting cash and paying her rent and then depositing what was left over into the account. So while she was actually profiting a lot more, it was reflecting on paper that she was making substantially less, you guys. So be aware of that. Now, if you're going to be accepting Venmo payments, great. You're going to follow this method. You're going to transfer it over to your business bank account. Now, why am I telling you this stuff? Why do I share this information with you? Because I want you to understand. I want to help you. I want to help you understand all of the different financial options that are available to you, right? There's a number of categories. Okay, so there's crowdfunding, there's grants, there's microloans, there's SBA, there's venture capital, there's private equity, there's so many different options. There's credit, there's business credit, so personal loans. So you guys, there are different options that you can do when you're looking for funding. It's all about, you don't just want to take any money, right? If you can. Remember, there's predatory lenders out there that focus and target on women and minority demographics. So you don't just want to accept any money that's out there, especially without doing your research. Trust me, I know. Okay, so you don't want to do just anything out there. That's why you're here. That's why you're here in the Domino Effect. You're here with this community so that you can understand the financial stack. You can understand the different categories, and you know that not all money is good money, right? We know not all money is good money, And we know the importance of the power of preparation, which is why we're here, understanding that. So once you know and once you understand, we know, understand where you're at, then we can connect you with the right resources. So we connect you with the right resources. These resources are going to align with your company, with where you're headed, with what you need the funds for, and what the next step is going to be. So this is important that you know that you have all of the tools, right? Because they're not just going to give you all of these tools. And part of the reason why I started this channel is because we need to inform. I need to inform. I'm just so sick of seeing all of this misinformation. And not only that, I got frustrated from getting misinformation myself. You know, it can feel like you're kind of running in circles, right? So you're spinning around. So we want to avoid that, right? One of the most valuable things that we have is time. So we need to make sure that we're using our time wisely and that we're leveraging ourselves to be in the best possible position. So by being here, you're already putting yourself in a better position. You're getting your questions answered, and you're getting real life education and mentorship that's going to help you along. So we're going to connect you to the reputable resources that you need. But even more important than that, you guys, why do I bring up the question of the Venmo statements, right? Well, because it comes up a lot, constantly. And I've seen it work, and I've seen it work not work for a lot more people than work. And that's only due to the setup. So how they had it initially set up. So that's what, we go over here. You're going to go up how to set up your business. Do you have your business registered? Are you operating as an LLC? Are you operating as an S corp? Are you operating as a C corp? And do you know the difference? Do you have multiple? What is your structure? Do you know what they mean? Right. So you definitely don't want to be out here running a business and you don't have any proof of its existence. Right. So you may say that, and here's another tip. If you have a business, just because you go around and say, I have a business, unless you have actually unless you have actually gone online and registered with your Secretary of State and you have an EIN and you are on paper, you do not have a business. Okay. So at least not one that you can grow and sustain and get money from, financing from. So we want to grow, right? You want to grow. That's why you're here. So you're here to grow and get the financing and get the tips that you need to get to the next level. So you guys, we're going to help you get educated so that you have the same resources that I have, and you're not spinning around like I did. Okay, so now you have your Venmo statements and maybe you don't have a business bank account. Okay, so maybe you're not an already established business and you are really, really early, right? You're starting from day zero. You want to start a business and you have an idea, but you're not really sure how you're going to get that financing, right? So there is another option for you. Okay, if you have been operating this way, if you have other outside income, I do have a resource for you, and they're called LiftFund. And what they'll do is they'll look at your personal expenses. So I'm sorry, personal income. So do you have another job? Do you have other income? You have W-2, right? Do you have a spouse? They'll take in those factors, and they'll also look at, your DTI, your debt to income ratio, and what are your outside expenses, your outgoing expenses. So they're another option. So for people who are, like I said, at day zero, right? And I'll just tell you a little bit more about them. So LiftFund, they are a CDFI, and you don't need a minimum credit score, but keep in mind, right? We're here to discuss the power of preparation. We don't just want to be operating our business the whole time with really shitty credit scores. Okay. Like that's just not what we do here. Okay. Can we start off with it? Yes, because that's me too, right? I started off with a really shitty credit score. So, but the point is to build. So we're learning, but we're building as we learn. We're taking the things that we learn and we're actually applying it, putting into action so that we can see real world results. So if you are using your Venmo statements, this might be an option for you. LiftFund, they are not looking at your credit score so much as really the profile. So, do you have collections on there? Are you late? Are you not paying child support? Yes, child support is a factor. People who are not paying child support, and keep that in mind. So, there is no minimum credit score. They've even gone down, you guys, to the 500s. So not low 500s. Okay. But that is possible. But on the flip side of that, there are credit scores that have been in the above 700 that didn't get funded. So it really kind of just depends on the whole individual package. So the great thing about LiftFund is they're really dedicated to working with startups, for underserved businesses, underserved sectors. They work with restaurants, retail, trucking. So they're able to really step in, especially in the trucking industry. That's really kind of experiencing some challenges right now. If you're operating kind of at the Main Street level under $1 million with trucking, it's kind of been a little bit difficult to get financing, right? Because it's deemed a risky industry. So LiftFund can actually step in and help. I've actually sent some clients over to LiftFund. One thing I will say, if you are in California, LiftFund is not an option due to regulations, unfortunately. So sorry, guys, LiftFund is not an option for us in California. But that being said, I was able to refer other people over to LiftFund, and they've been in operation since '94, you guys, and they've helped. They've made about a $6 billion economic impact. Okay, they've provided over $800 million in funding. They've helped create over 90,000 jobs. I mean, they work with the SBA. They've partnered with the SBA. So, they're backed by the SBA. So they're just a really, 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 really great resource. So if you do have things like Venmo statements, but you do have other income that can show that you can support the financing that you're about to take on, then LiftFund would be a great option for you. Here, you guys, we connect the dots for you. And if you have any questions about, your Venmo statements or other applications that you're using to accept payments, then just reach out. And also, what merchant processors are you even using? Because we might have resources that could actually save you fund money per month, if you just reach out, as far as if you're interested in that. Now, if this video resonates with you, then we need you to show support, like, follow, and share. Every month we have webinars, free classes, free courses, and a Let's Get You Funded class. We have our first webinar coming up on January 4th, and I need all of you guys who have businesses, who are looking for financing, funding, or have questions about how your business is structured, then this is where you need to be. So this is what we do. Like I said, we connect the dots for you. Thank you for coming here. Like this channel, subscribe, come to class on January 4th so that you can get your business funded. See you there.